welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to use a bathing suit wrap to create a beautiful high-low dress. Now this is the one that I'm gonna be using. I actually got this wrap from my sister and I thought, why not make a cute little dress out of it? So I'm gonna show you guys what you can do to create one of these high-low dresses for yourself. So make sure you guys stick around until the end of the video to see just how I did my dress. So I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm going to lay this out so you guys can see what this one actually looks like. So you guys would know the little ends that go around your shoulders. What I'm gonna do is to find the middle section and I'm gonna be folding that in half. So I just want to match up the areas that would usually go around your shoulders because I'm gonna be using that section for the front and the back of the dress. So I'm just smoothing out mine just to make sure that the edges are all matching up. I'm going to go ahead and pin those in place. I just don't want it to be shifting around. And these types of materials, they do shift around. So I'm gonna fold that as well and I'm gonna be pinning that in place because you want to make sure you pin down everything because when you're cutting, you don't want your fabric shifting around. So I'm just going, matching up the edges. Smoothing everything out, and then I'm gonna go on ahead and pin the rest of the sections in place as well. Then I'm gonna go on ahead and take my measurements. Now coming down the side, it is 28 inches. Now for my high-low, I want the longer section to be at least 10 inches longer. So I'm measuring that on myself to see what that would look like. And then I'm gonna go on ahead and mark that out. Now to get your measurement for your curves, you may basically just get how wide the fabric is. Find the middle section of that. You mark that and then just have your little curve taper off right around the middle section. So I'm gonna go on ahead and take my scissors and I'm gonna be cutting that going straight across. So once I have cut it off, this is what it will be looking like. I still have a little section left and I'm gonna be using that for my shoulders and to get a string. But for this section, just have a look at what it will be looking like once you cut that off. And you can see the dress already taking shape. Now there's a little edge there that I need to cut off. And you guys can see that it is still joining both sections together. So I'm just gonna go on ahead and I'm going to be cutting that little section off. Now, what I'm gonna do is to fold it back because I don't want to mess up when I'm cutting. So I'm just gonna cut them, separate the pieces. So this is what it looks like. Now what I'm gonna be doing is to stitch the side sections, and when I am stitching, I'm going to be stitching going it all the way up, but I'm gonna leave 7.5 inch coming down from the neckline. So that section will be for underneath the arm. So around 7.5 inches will do for me. As for the rest of the fabric, I'm going to now go on ahead and cut my sleeves. So I'm going to be lining up the fabric and I want to make sure that the layers are placed on top of each other precisely because when I'm cutting, I don't want to have one section bigger than the other. So I'm just trying to make sure that everything is layered together you want to make sure that the pieces are not puckering, so you try to get it as smooth as possible. So you guys can see how I'm doing mine. So I'm just going to take my tape measure and my chalk. Now around 5 inches will do, but I am going to measure 6 inches so that I'll be able to get a 1 inch for the fold for the elastic. So I mark out my 6 inch, I mark it across, and I'm just testing what the fall will look like for the little high-low look. So I'm just gonna pin that in place before I go on ahead and I cut, because as I said before, you want to make sure that the sections are not shifting around while you're cutting. I'm just testing again just to make sure that I like the fall. Okay, so I'm gonna go on ahead. I'm just going to cut that off. Alrighty, so this is what both pieces should be looking like. So you guys can see what they look like. So I'm just gonna be folding it over just to create the little area where the elastic is gonna go through. As for the rest of the fabric, I'm just gonna go on ahead and get my string out of that. So I'm just gonna measure it. I want it to be at least say 4 inches wide, and I'm using the whole entire length going across. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna stitch that on its wrong side. This is what the dress looks like once I went ahead and stitched the side sections, and I also did the bottom of the dress. So that's what it looks like. Now for the top section of the dress, I am just going to be folding the strings in half, and I'm just going to be cutting them in two. So this will give me the little tie that will go around the top of both of my shoulders. So you guys can see the little area in between. So I'm just going to show you guys how I'm going to attach the sleeves. So this is what the sleeve looked like once I did my stitching. This is the elastic that I'm going to use. I'm just going to get a pin, and I'm going to be pushing that through the little section that was created once I made my stitching. So I'm just going to pull it down, and I'm going to use a needle and a thread, and I'm just going to be tacking it in place so that the elastic doesn't slip through. I'm going to remove the pin, and I'm going to use the needle and thread and tack the other end. So this is what it looks like. So you can see it has that nice little high-low effect. That's what the other one looks like. So I'm gonna show you guys how to attach them to the section that I left open for your sleeves to be attached. So this is what the dress would actually be looking like, right? So the little 7.5 opening, so you would just around 1.5 inches away from the top. I'm just gonna be tacking them on. So I would tack them onto both sections. Now as for my strap, I'm just gonna be turning that onto the right side because I've already stitched on the wrong side. So I had left a little opening, so I'm just pulling it through the little opening, turning it on the right side. So what I am actually gonna do is to go onto the sewing machine, attach my sleeves, and to flat stitch my straps. So this is what they look like. Once the straps are on, this is what they look like. Well, I should say the shoulders. Once the shoulders are on, this is what they look like. And you can see how the dress looks. So you can see the high-low effect. You can see how wide it is. So I'm gonna have a nice little gathering. I'm gonna try it on for you guys. So this is it. So I'm just tying my tie. Now I really like this dress, you guys. It is so flowy and nice. And the material that is used to make this is pretty light, so I'm gonna have to make a little slip to go underneath the dress. And also the only additional thing that I actually did to the dress for the sleeves, I actually decided to flat stitch the section that has the elastic, because I noticed that it's not staying down on my shoulders the way how I wanted to. So I did go on ahead and I stitched down the elastic. So basically I just pull on the sleeves and I gave them a flat stitch. I did 2 rows. So when I put it onto my shoulder, I did notice how different it was, because it stayed down on my shoulders a whole lot more. And like I said, I had to get myself a little skirt so that you don't see between my legs, because the material for this is very thin. So anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about this video. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again on the next video. Do not forget to check me out over on my other channel, over on Being Me TV. I want to get to at least 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So guys, go and check me out over there. It's Being Me TV. Keep your post notifications on, and I'll see you guys again on the next video. Bye guys.